Hey, Erin here from $5 Dinners. I'm trying to get you to see what's happening back here because we're going to take a look at this in a second. This is my Dinner Made Easy show we do on Wednesdays. It is a yoga pants sweatshirt day here in San Antonio. One, because it's cold, and two, because I have two sick kiddos. So it's perfect that we're going to be making this stovetop mac and cheese, which is going right here. And I need to turn it over real quick. So if you're catching the replay, slide it forward. We're going to get started talking about the recipe here in just a minute. And I need to turn this over, and I'm gonna switch views here in just a second, but I've got to get this turned over because I can already see it's trying to stick on the bottom. Now, this is stovetop mac and cheese. It is delicious. It requires a little bit more babysitting than some of our other recipes, but it is so delicious and so worth it. Let me get this turned over, and I'm gonna switch camera modes. I want you to tell me what you're having for dinner tonight. And I want you to like, heart, and share that you love homemade mac and cheese. It's so, so good. So good. And this is homemade mac and cheese that we're cooking in milk. Yes, you heard that right. We are cooking the pasta in the milk. I'm going to show you here in just a second. Hi, Lori. How are you? Glad you're here tonight. This is what we're making. Once it's cooked in, the pasta's cooked in the milk, then we just mix in the cheese. Hey, Steve, I'm going to need help getting the cheese. I forgot to get it out before I started. So let's switch. I want to show you this. You can see my camera right there. See the second camera? There we go. How do you like that? All right, let me get this going here for you. Oh, that's my feet. See, I told you it was yoga pant day. Yoga pant and purple sock day. This thing's crazy. I thought this thing was like, this, whatever. Okay, you can see that is going. It's cooking in the milk. I'm sorry, this is not the best setup, but I don't have the right countertop space to do this over the top. But you can see that it's cooking in the milk. It's actually almost finished. I started it a minute ago, and I have been stirring it over a couple times. You saw me stir it over right at the top. This is about finished. You can see that it's nice and creamy, right? Cooking in the milk. Have you ever cooked this in the milk? Have you ever cooked pasta in milk? This is what you need to know about cooking pasta in milk. You want to bring the milk to a bubble. Let me talk you through here in my purple socks and my yoga pants. You want to bring the milk to bubbling. It will to a slow boil, if you will. And you don't want it to bubble up and bubble over because you don't want it to overheat and separate. So we're going to then turn the heat down to low. Right now it's on about medium-low. Maybe a medium, actually. I should turn that down a little bit more. And then the pasta will slowly soak up the milk. Now, it will also create that extra creaminess that is going to be in this sauce. So what happens is you need to turn it over. This is a large pot it's actually not taking up much room in the pot. But and I needed to turn it over so what was on the bottom doesn't overcook and what's on the top doesn't end up completely cooked or like partially cooked or chewy, if you will. And so I've turned it over a couple of times. It's just about finished. I'm just going to let it sit for a minute and turn it over one more time. And then all we have to do is mix in the cheese, right? So you might be thinking like, okay, not enough flavor, Erin. What's happening here? Well, let me tell you, and I have the recipe linked here on the video. And let me tell you the other flavors that are in this milk that I haven't mentioned yet. So the milk, before I turned it on, I added the milk to this pot, and I whisked in 2 tablespoons, I did a little bit more than the recipe says, 2 tablespoons of spicy brown or Dijon mustard. Love the way that makes homemade macaroni taste. A teaspoon of garlic powder, and a couple dashes of nutmeg. Because macaroni and cheese and nutmeg is like a match made in flavor heaven. So that I whisked all together, and then I brought it to a rolling bubble. Don't let it kind of boil up. Milk, if you cook it too long, you kind of have to watch it. Again, this is one you're going to have to babysit, but it's so good. Bring that up, then reduce the heat. Sorry guys, hang on here. I'm trying to hold this. Yeah, this is done. You want to turn it over a couple of times so that it doesn't stick to the bottom. Okay, this is ready to go. So we're going to actually move this. I'm going to turn that off. Hang on, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to be over here now. All right, we're going to transfer this. Sorry, guys. bear with me, my yoga pants and my purple socks because it's been that kind of a day. And my crazy camera. I'm going to bring this over here so you can actually see it. So just bear with me for a second. I love doing these live videos, and then as I was getting this one ready, I was like, I can't do stovetop meals on the way that this countertop works over here. It's really awkward. So I can't do that. So let me just shift this over. So now I don't have to drain anything. Look at this. It's amazing. I don't have to drain it. Isn't that lovely? Lovely, I say. All right, let's see what happens when we do this. Let's see. Ooh, that's close. For some crazy reason, my little tripod likes to look at its own feet. Okay. Ha! How about that? All right. So that's cooked. I don't have to drain anything. The pasta soaks up the liquid. The waterier. Oh my gosh, I can't speak tonight. The waterier part of the milk, and it leaves behind this amazing creaminess, if you will, right? So it's so good. So good. Yes. You're right about that, Lorna. I'm going super old school with this. And then, now all we need to do is mix in the cheese. It's already super creamy, and we're going to mix in cheddar. I'm doing sharp cheddar because, yes, please, and Parmesan. So we want to do that while it's still warm so it melts quickly. And you can do this to taste. You can eyeball it. I'm going to do about 2 cups of sharp cheddar and probably half a cup of parm there. And we're just going to mix that through, and that is that. It does, again, take a couple of minutes of babysitting while it's on the stove so that you get the evenly cooked pasta. You don't want it to be like chewy on the top and overcooked on the bottom, right? And then this is it. And you know what this macaroni reminds me of? Do you guys have Luby's? Does anybody live in the land of Luby's? Luby's is like a cafeteria that they have. It's a cafeteria restaurant. I know. I think it's kind of all over Texas. You can see the pasta isn't like overcooked. It's holding its shape nicely. We're just going to let this kind of warm through, get all nice and melty. If you wanted to thin that out a little bit, you could use a little beef stock. I'm sorry, chicken stock, or even just water before you mix in the cheese. But I wanted to have this nice, thick, cheesy pasta. Seriously? Don't you guys wish that I could like pass this through the phone or your computer or your screen or whatever it is that you're watching on? Don't you wish that was a possibility? I certainly do. So we're going to go ahead and season this one to taste with salt and pepper. Totally up to you how much you want to do. Anybody have any questions about this guy? Super easy, right? I'm trying to get back to your comments. Karen's having hummin' veggies. Lisa, you just made this, girl? Yum. It's one of my faves. I like to pepper macaroni and cheese. Oh, amazing. All right, that's what I know. This is my Dinner Made Easy show. That was super easy. This could be dinner. You could mix in like broccoli. You could mix in chicken. Can we talk about the chicken for a second? We need to talk about this chicken deal. You guys, I'm shocked it's back. I just put a note. I put a note up on Facebook earlier today, but I just added it to the recipe as well, or to this video, excuse me, about this Zaycon Fresh chicken deal. It is back. I am shocked. Last week they had one for the March pickup, and it was so successful that they decided to do another one for the June pickup. So be sure to check that out. Jen, I know, right, girl? I'm drooling over here. If you have never ordered from Zaycon Fresh and you need, or you're a brand new customer and you want to try out their bulk meat, I call it the drive-through meat guys, where you pick your meat up, you drive through, you pick it up, and you go home and you get it all ready for the freezer. Check that out. 99 cents a pound for boneless, skinless chicken breast, which is their most popular product. They also have a number of other offers going on right now that you can check out. But use the code SHARP99, and that's the code for right now. And you can get that boneless, skinless chicken. That code will bring the price down to 99 cents a pound. $39.60 for a box of 40 pounds of chicken. It's insane. So check that out. That chicken would be amazing if you cook it and shred it and mix it into this mac and cheese with some chicken and some broccoli. That's dinner right there, all in one pot. All right, guys, that's what I know. That's my Dinner Made Easy show. Thanks for bearing with me in my camera situation. I'm going to get back to finishing up the rest of what we're having for dinner. I hope this is helpful. I will hopefully be back on Sunday with our 5-minute meal show. It'll depend on my sickies and how they're doing. The flu has descended upon our house. This is actually round 2. We already had it once in February. One of the boys did, and now the rest of them seem to be getting it now. So, fun times. But 'tis the season. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week, and I will see you again real soon.